Well, hello there. My name is Tim Asias, and welcome to my channel and my first video. I have been playing Minecraft for about 15 years, started on Pocket Edition long time ago, and ended up switching into Xbox version and took kind of a hiatus for a few years, and ultimately ended up switching to Java Edition about 5 years ago. A friend got me introduced to that, and fell in love. Love the game when I started playing it, loved it, especially when I get into the Java and the additional mods and all that stuff. And got entrenched in, the YouTube Minecraft community, Hermitcraft, things like that. And just, at this point, we're probably 4 or 5 servers in and realized that I wasn't, I was building all this stuff and putting a lot of time into it and wanted to kind of share it. I've took a lot of inspiration and ideas and got a lot of entertainment out of those videos and those people on YouTube, and ultimately wanted to kind of share some of mine. I've put a lot of time into these worlds and these builds, and ultimately thought maybe I could kind of get back to the community and show some of my builds, my creations, ideas, worlds, stuff that I've created with friends, and kind of put it out there and let people maybe pull some inspiration from that. So I am currently, the world that we're on, we have put a lot of hours into. I have a lot of builds, and since I'm brand new to this and I'm not the most tech savvy person, I figured I will just kind of show some of the builds I've made, some of the inspiration and thoughts and things like that. And while I'm getting better, figuring out how to edit and how to do these things and figuring out sound levels and all that, instead of making really long videos and just them being terrible, I'll show off some of the first builds and then continue on through the builds I've made until we get through those, and also provide some new content, new builds, and new stuff we're working on, and introduce you to the friends on the server. And some of their builds and what's next until we move into the next server. So thank you for joining. Thank you for checking it out. And let's go. So I thought it would only be right to start with showing a little bit of our world. You can see on the map, we've got quite a bit of stuff that we have created. So I'm going to give just a quick little overview so you can see some of the stuff, get a little bit of idea of, hey, what's that? Well, I'm going to go over it. I'm going to explain it. Keep watching. I will put out new videos all the time to kind of show some of the builds, some of the what each of these buildings are, how I created it, what mod packs they are, all that type of stuff. But just a little quick overview of some of the builds that we have made. There's still a lot of work to be done, so stuff that's not complete, but I'm going to start today off with my very first build, my very first little farm type thing that was needed, and that is my sugarcane farm and my book building. So that is located right over here. We've got my book building right here, where we're creating all the books, which was needed for, enchanting all the different armor and things like that. That's a fun build. That'll be a good one to get into, the actual trading hall that I have. And then also my sugarcane farm. Sugarcane farm was technically first, got some windows and visual types aesthetics around here. It is auto. So the pistons are consistently chopping these down once they get 3 high. Got the observers there that check it out. Got our little area back here with cows. I did have quite a bit of cows back here, but I've kind of knocked it down some since I have plenty of books. Don't really need them anymore. I am playing on it's Curse Forge. It's the Neo Forge edition. And it's the All the Mods 10. So lots of additional modifications and stuff like that we have included on here. So it's not your standard vanilla. If you're seeing a bunch of odd blocks and building blocks and stuff like that, that's what it is all the mods. Things like this, the Christmas tree from Macaw's Holidays. So just little fun type snippets, stuff like that. First and foremost, on the sugarcane farm, I mean, it's pretty basic. If you know anything about Minecraft sugarcane farms, this is about as standard and normal as it gets. I didn't make it super huge. It was a little bit slow on producing the sugarcane to begin with. I actually kind of made some farms, legitimate farms to use uh, to begin with, so I had plenty of it. But at this point, it's just stocked up. I don't really need any of this anymore. But I keep it running. Simple turn on and turn off systems right here. Basic, simple redstone contraptions with your observers that will break it once needed. Uh, the design aesthetics on here, some of these, like the stone brick terrace stairs. This is a really unique, fun type building block. What I've found is mixing up styles and keeping enough. You can see that the palette on this, I'm using spruce and strip spruce, and then basic stone. But then the way that you're able to build off of this with some of the additional blocks. Let's see if I can get up here. There we go. Maple log, regions unexplored. I'm going to go into kind of how I created some of these, like the spruce roof as well. The spruce roof itself is pretty simple. Within, again, all the mods, 10, you have a lot of additional options on there. When we're talking about these type of roofs, standard spruce roofs, it gives you that nice bark color of the spruce. And it's not just a simple, standard vanilla type stair. It gives you more design into it. And it's pretty simple to make. It just takes 2 spruce logs and 1 stick, and you get 2 spruce roofs. They've got some, this is like the topper piece right here that if you were building on a center 1 instead of like a 2x for the center, you can use this to actually even it out so you don't have kind of an odd shaped roof. You can make them steeper, so you can do a lower base roof and a steep base roof to make a much steeper. And then also ones that you can make a little bit lower to where it takes 2 blocks for it to actually equal 1 block high. And then different things like the spruce plant or the attic roofs, skylights pretty much. Adds a nice little touch in there. I will show you those. They do open, so a little bit of ventilation if need be. And you will notice there is a giant creeper on top here. This is a really fun addition on here. It's the giant creeper. What is this? Where did it come from? Why is it? Ultimately, it is tucked in right here. Just slam into the roof some. And it is a trophy. So from John's Trophies mod. So I had to go pick one up out of my storage. But this is basically what the trophy is. You can set the block here. You can see it's a little miniature version. And once you right click on it, you can increase the size, make it very large, and also raise it up, which is what I've done because I don't think that this, kind of stone block really fits in with the aesthetics. So I tucked it in here. It's hidden away quite a bit better, so it's not really visible. But just a nice little addition. With this being my first building, I was just finding little random new mods. Through time, we've done the steampunk mod, all the mods 8, custom packs. So we've switched up a lot of different stuff. So you start these servers, and basically new stuff you find, you just start placing anywhere and everywhere. So basically, I have hoppers set up underneath all of here, transferring all the way over to here, and then they connect underground right through here. Hello, cow. They connect right into here into my book farm. And I'll do a little bit of a visual walk around for the book farm. You can see a lot of fun type blocks, roof components, things like that. A lot of stuff you won't find on vanilla. Some copper bars you can see into the building there. And back here was where I had all those cows and was consistently breeding, killing, trying to get all the leather and everything I needed. This was just a little extra storage chest to be able to breed them, place to keep all the beef. At the time when I started, everyone has a tough time trying to keep food running. So this was a place that we could keep that. And then this is where I dumped the leather. Again, this wasn't fully automatic. I was just looking for something simple and easy to make books to begin with. So basically, once I killed them, I would put the leather in here and it would transfer it into the inside. There's a nice little gate right there. Also, if you're interested in this fence, this is such a nicer looking fence than just standard spruce fences. This is spruce picket fences. And again, just like with the roof system I was showing you earlier, you can see there's several different types through macaws as well. It's a great addition. And it's just different variations of using spruce logs and sticks. Spruce logs and planks, you get the different types. So fairly simple and easy. Takes a lot of spruce, but just a great looking fence, great looking addition. As well as you see my tiki torches. Unique little addition on here as well. And that is macaws as well. The tiki torches, they take kind of the same type thing, just a spruce fence, torch, pretty simple, pretty easy. You can do a soul spruce tiki torch as well, which is great. Not as much light. You're going to get more light from these, of course, but the way it works, you can stack them up about as high as you want. You just add more layers onto them. So let's go check on the interior. Lets us know it's a book building. Nice little separation of torches in there to keep it lit up. These blocks, which I'll go over, these are super awesome, the spiral blocks. And here's the interior. Some nice paintings. There's some updated paintings on here as well, which look really nice. So that's where the leather, I've got hoppers that feed directly into here. This is where my additional leather goes once I want to make books. And then also, like I said, plenty of sugarcane. I haven't made books in a long time. I've got plenty of them, plenty in storage. This is a nice little addition. The display cases, Bibliocraft Legacy. So you can open them up, put in what you want. So, hey, that's where leather is. Oh, that's not good. There we go. It can be a little bit fickle. There we go. Shift and right click. That's what we need. There's a little trophy of a cow right there. Got lots of those. And then my sugarcane. Sugarcane feeds in here. I combine those with my leather, and I put my additional books over here in paper. So forms into the sugarcane forms into paper. Your leather and your paper forms into books, and I've got plenty of those. So you can see I have another trophy stand. That's for one of the bees that's up top to keep them nice and clean. And my additional one is hidden up there, but basically it has a nice, they're hidden, and it looks like these bees are just flying in. Kind of a nice little addition, I think. And I will get to it, but that is my my bee farm right there. So it actually works right. It looks like the bees are flying out of there. So into some of the block choices. I mentioned these right here, the spiral bricks. Spiral bricks are a great addition. Basically, when it comes to designing for me, when I started, I kind of had an idea of using deep slate and stone and spruce. This area was really full of spruce, so why not use that? It's a good looking wood, and I had a lot of it, so didn't need to run too far for it. Ultimately, what I do is once I find a couple blocks that I like, there's so many variations. In fact, let me show you this. There's such a huge amount that you can do in this mod. So we've got a couple different work chest type things to work on. We've got your standard stone cutter and your architect's cutter, and then also your mason's table. So if I was to take stone and put it in here, Lots of choices, stone crosses, your graves and stuff like that, different types of roofing components, your standard stone brick stairs, stone slabs, all that type of stuff, into some terracotta line type things. And our spiral bricks takes one for one exchange. You get pillars and things like that. The other addition on here, and this one is the domum ornamentum. You put stone in here, and I've messed with this one for a little bit. I think stone actually won't, but I can use like spruce. This will actually work into it here in a little bit. But all of these different options. So vanilla standard blocks that you can pick right here. Timber frames, we'll get into that a little bit later, but shingles is what I'm kind of looking at right now. So I've got shingles, brick extra shingles. It shows my shingle material, brick extra, support material, oak planks. So if I was to put spruce in there, you see it changes it up. I got spruce log as the shingle material and the support material, the spruce planks. What's fun about this is, and I've got several of them that I've made out there. You can see right here where it changes the lower portion of the support structure to the witch hazel planks. If I switch these around, it now makes the shingles the witch hazel planks. Very cool design differences on this. This is one that I had a lot of fun with. You can see here, if I use the spruce planks, it just gives you the standard spruce plank looking piece. This gives you more of a what is called a wood shake design. So on this build, since I used the spruce planks, it gave me these nice wood shake looking pieces where it's like the almost a sliver of the wood plank that has been chopped off for the top portion, and then underneath you can see here we've got the witch hazel planks. I could use the witch hazel logs and get an even more unique style. That's the witch hazel logs on that underneath right there. So a lot of variation, not changing up the color palette too much. It's spruce and it's witch hazel and stone, and then copper, because the copper really matches in with the witch hazel color as well. So keeping stuff kind of consistent. I need to change these out. These should be aging, but they are not. They should look like these in here. But a nice simple color palette, and finding some oddball blocks. The third option here is the Mason's table. Mason's table gives you a whole lot of variations. This is just tons of different unique types of blocks. It shows you here kind of how they work. And what this is important for is blocks like this. A standard edge stone, but this is actually combinable. It, if you make lines or if you make blocks like this, you get full, it kind of combines it and makes a really cool effect. I use this stuff a lot. It's a place where it almost doesn't look like it's block form anymore. You can make large areas. This can be a 10 by 10, 20 by 20, and it'll look just like this. It gives you some really nice floors, wall designs. We'll get into that a lot later. However, when I was looking at these, I came across this unique looking spiral block. Super weird, super unique. What can we do with it? How do we build with it? It looks weird. It looks funny. It seems to build in a bunch of different ways. How does it work together? So just messing around with it. It is made for... that's not correct. Oh yeah, that's a slow. Some of these blocks are kind of crazy on how long it takes to break. So you accidentally place something, it can be fun to get rid of. And there we go. Break. I'll be back in a minute. There we go. Okay, it's gone. So how this works is you have to figure out which way it's placing it. So that's placing it facing this way. If I was to face this way, boom, it gives me a little addition to it. And then it's figuring out how it works. I think I click it there. That's not correct. Man, it's been a long time since I built this one and have used this block. So let me see. So you can see it starts to form this really cool, really unique circle pattern. which kind of has a little bit of depth to it as well. So just a really fun block. And when I'm making these builds, since there's so many options, that's playing with all the mods. If you're used to playing vanilla, there's so many options. It can be very overbearing. It can seem like too much. I mean, you can see here, this is potions and books and blocks and everything, but there's 155 pages of this many. So it is tons of options, tons of blocks, tons of things to dig through. It is a lot. So basically finding some of these unique building tools and using those to just see what's available and finding something that looks a little bit unique and different. I will break that later because that takes forever. But finding stuff that just 1 or 2 or 3 blocks that look really unique and that are different. And then also add in some of these standards, your chiseled stone bricks. You can see here, this is the ones that actually extend and combine. It forms a really nice design, stuff that you don't get in vanilla. But just finding a couple little options, doing things like this where I put a stone brick wall in there. It gives a little bit of depth to it. Allows me to see, our spruce pillar posts. So trying to add extra depth into there. The wall technique that I use quite a bit. I just think it looks really nice. It gives you that additional 3D type feel, gives extra depth. I will say these are some of my more basic type buildings. Kind of just wanting to get stuff done. Felt like I put a bunch into it. These originally were massive. This was, oh man, look at these giant builds I have on here. And as we get into it, you'll see these are not. These are very small. They're the smallest buildings I have on here. But yeah. So, one other thing I wanted to point out for build method on here. Love these. Love that you get these corners like this on the domum ornamentum, whatever it is, shingles. However, on here you can see this thicker area, and basically what I've done there is placed them upside down. So I place one block like that, just a standard roof. And then I place one underneath it and upside down. And you get this really nice, thicker rim of a roof. I think it looks great instead of just having, normally, and you'll deal with this on vanilla servers as well, but you just get a chopped off area like this. You have this really nice curve of a roof right here, diagonal, but then you have this really choppy version. But yeah, and honestly, on vanilla servers, if you do this with stairs as well, putting them underneath, you get a really nice curve. I think it's a great way to finish off these angles and have it. Hey, look, I need to do the same thing back here. You can see I started to, but forgot to finish the back. So that's what's great about making these videos is I get to figure out the things that I forgot to do. So give me 1 minute and hey, look at that. So anyways, I have got a bunch of buildings I will be going through designs. If you saw stuff you like, there's a lot of stuff in here. We have a pretty unique server, lots of builds. I think a lot of it goes together. And then once we get into some of the builds that the other people on the server have made, you get to see those. Everyone's got their own talents, their own unique perspectives with stuff. So that's what's great. We've got 5 people on here, and they all have their own unique builds and palettes and methods. And we've got create mods. So there's just a whole great group on here that does stuff differently, and it kind of melds together really well. So I'm excited to show you guys. But thank you for joining me on my very first video. And wow, there we go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. There will be, I'll be uploading as hard and fast as I can. Lots of videos, lots of ideas. So I'm excited to share. Thank you for watching, and Tim Asias, out. gonna get?